We're here for another week in women's basketball here at Portland State. We're here with head coach Lynn Kennedy. Coach, coming off a big come-from-behind second-half win against Seattle at their place. Talk about the anatomy of that comeback win.
Well, I thought going into it, they were coming off of a really good game against Boise State where they took them to overtime. So we knew they were going to be a tough team, and they've got some really good shooters. And so we kind of keyed in on those players and talked a lot about, during the week leading up to the game about, containing, getting a hand up on the shooters, adjusting as far as our defense and keeping our intensity up. They came out first quarter and they were on fire. They couldn't miss. And so we made some adjustments and kept after it. And I felt like our intensity on defense really went up, and we started, getting those blockouts. They'd gotten some second chance points in the first half and getting those blockouts in the second half. And that kind of led us to a little bit more confidence on offense. Our defensive intensity helped us on the offensive end, and we started getting some easy looks at the offensive end. And I felt like those opportunities kind of led us to get that lead. And once we had the lead, I think our confidence took over as far as being able to win on the road. We haven't had a lot of those in the past. And so just being able to take a lead on the road late in the fourth, and I thought our free throw shooting at the end was spectacular and finished off that game. So, for us, a really good road win, and looking forward to this week and going to Portland and being on the road again.
Couple of big offensive performances for the Vikings against the Redhawks. Sydney Riley goes for her third straight 20-point game, and Ashley Bolston adds her first 20-point game as a Viking. Coach, talk to me about those two players and their combined effort against Seattle last week.
Well, you look at the offensive stats, and that's the first thing that you look at. But I think defensively, they've both kind of keyed in on that as far as being better defensively and stepping up and getting stops. And they both did that, I felt, against Seattle U. And their offense, once they just play within our system and play within the flow, they're going to get shots. They're going to get wide open shots. I felt like, Courtney, she had a good offensive game, even though you don't look at the stats and don't see that. But she was able to get to the basket, which creates better spacing, allowed Sydney to get some open shots, allowed Ashley to get to the basket. I thought Pia had another good game. And so you look at all those scenarios, and that it creates better spacing for us on the offensive end, which creates better opportunities for them. And they're taking advantage of those opportunities and scoring, especially when we need it. In the fourth quarter, I thought our execution was really good. We were able to get to the basket, got a couple and ones. And we got to the free throw line, which our attacking system allows us to get to the free throw line, puts the defense back on their heels. So you saw that in the fourth quarter when we took the lead. We're getting to the basket, we're hitting open shots. Michaela hit a big three to take the lead. So it was kind of a team effort. I called it a team win, but it was really everybody, even though a couple of them had 20 points or more.
Coming off back-to-back wins, the Vikings go for three straight this Wednesday against crosstown rival, the University of Portland. Coach, talk to me about the Pilots and what they've seen, what you've seen out of them this year, and they've seen some pretty tough opponents so far.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, they've played a tough preseason schedule and been in some tough games. I mean, they've been close in a couple of those games. They went up to Alaska and got a win up there, and then played USC really tough. And I thought they played really good against Oregon State too a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, they're a tough team. They're playing hard. They're improved, much improved over last year. They've got shooters on the outside. They've got a senior point guard that can beat anybody off the dribble. We've got to really contain her. And if she gets in the lane, I mean, they have a chance to score whether she shoots it or hits one of their posts or one of their shooters. So it causes a different challenge for us than we saw against Seattle U. But they're good inside and out, and that's going to be tough for us to defend. But hopefully, using our length, using some of our speed, hopefully we can set some tempo and get the game up and down. Might be a little bit different than what they played here in the preseason, because most of their games have been low scoring.
Following Wednesday's game against crosstown rival the University of Portland, the Vikings will be back here at the Stott Center Saturday at 2 o'clock against the UC Irvine Anteaters. Coach, talk to me about what you've seen out of the Anteaters coming into this.
I think they've played a tough preseason too. They had a coaching change this offseason. They have a young team as well. And I think their guards are really good. They can get up and down the court and score. For them, it's about defending their outside game first, and then establishing our inside game, and then creating tempo as well. They've been in some low-scoring games. So we've kind of seen two different sides of them. A couple of games they've come out, played extremely hard, and then other games their youth kind of shows up a little bit too. So it'll be a tough challenge, but we're excited to be at home again. Start a homestand. We had 2 games in a row, which would be nice. So I think after Wednesday's game, getting Saturday here against UC Irvine, it should be a good game. Doubleheader. Come out, watch some basketball Saturday.
Saturday's game against Irvine will be the first of a doubleheader here at the Peter W. Stott Center, as the men will take on University of Texas Rio Grande Valley following the women's game. For more information, visit govikes.com.